Boxing trainer Paddy Fitzpatrick joins me now on Your Sport Swindon. Paddy, we're here tonight at the launch of the next show in Swindon. Talk is Cheap, November 26th. You've got three of you guys on the bill. Let's talk about Sam Smith initially. First time he's headlining a show. You must be pleased to see that.
It's good. It's nice to make statements, even if they're only small ones. He's had 3 pro fights. He hasn't come out of the Olympics or come out of the Commonwealth Games with a gold, and in his 4th fight to come into his adopted hometown and be the main event. It's a little statement, and fight night he will produce a display that will back up the statement we're making by being main event.
How's he progressing in the gym? Like I said, he's only had 3 fights so far, but we're hearing good things of him from your stable.
Yeah, he's been with me now 2 years. We were together a year before we turned pro. This is come December, he'll have been a pro a year. I'm very, very happy with his progress. We've missed 2 fights because of injuries, but that's okay. It's part and parcel of the game. I'm very happy with his development. I want somebody in the top 20 for the November show, and then I'd like somebody in the top 15 for the next one. We're not going slowly with him. He's not somebody that you've got to develop his composure and hope that he's okay in certain circumstances. He's a very composed individual. When it comes to fighting, he don't care if it's in front of 10 people or 10,000 people. That isn't what we've been working on. What we've been working on is getting him to know how to fight rounds, what way he should fight over 8, what he should do over 10, what he should do over 12. And he's learning and doing excellently, so we'll be moving him relatively quick.
Opponent-wise, have you got anyone penciled in or anyone in mind, right now?
No, it's a hard go. I mean, originally, like we were asked would we fight Kelvin. We said yes, and that didn't happen. Now it's down to finding somebody who wants to fight 10 rounds. You saw that here, blooper.
Don't work with boxers, animals, or posters. That was Kyle Nielsen that put that up. So.
Against a dude who's 3-0. Most guys don't want to do that. So that's kind of what we're up against now. But it's okay. You'll always have problems in this game right up to the last minute. Until it's over, you're going to have a problem.
So 3 fights in and he's difficult to match. That's quite a statement in itself, isn't it?
It's not. Look, it's not that you're going to find people who are saying, "Oh, I don't want to fight that man. He's a beast." Let's not pretend that. But it's getting somebody that wants to fight that man over 10 rounds. And certain guys don't want to risk. Why am I going to fight that dude? He's had 3 fights. Why am I going to fight 10 rounds? Or they want big 10-round money. If it's guys with really good records, they don't want to fight off TV 10 rounds if they can use their record to get on TV against a prospect with one of the bigger promoters. But that's okay. That's the problems that we knew we'd come up against. And we'll deal with them.
Are you looking for him to make a statement as he's headlining, or just go about and do his business and get the win?
He's got to make a statement. This isn't a fight that he can just get a win. We've made a small statement already, and the reason I say a small statement is because it's going to be in front of 1,300 people, but it's still a statement. This isn't where he was born. This is his adopted hometown because he represents Swindon when he's fighting. But for him in his 4th fight to be main event, like I said, not coming out from the Olympics or something like that, being with a big promoter where they're going, let's put him straight in as the main event. That's a statement in itself. He has to perform to match the statement that we're making. But I know with Sam, he produces on fight night what he produces in the gym. And his development since he's from his 1st to his 2nd fight, from his 2nd to his 3rd, has been excellent. Now his development since that 3rd fight to now has been excellent. So he does have to make a statement in his performance, yeah.
Obviously the fight against Calvin was well documented across social media. There's a good bit of banter going on with that. I think we'd all like to have seen that. Obviously things have changed with Calvin. He's opted to retire now, so he's going to have 1 fight on this bill. So we look forward to seeing him hopefully getting a win to end what's been a good career. Think he's making the right decision there?
To retire? Yeah.
Okay, and a reflection on his career, just briefly.
He's done a lot. I think he's overachieved, like he said himself. He's done well. He didn't have a big standout amateur career. He turned pro. Him being pro has helped build a pro game in the town. He's been the IBO Intercontinental. He's been a Southern Area champion twice. He's had, a decent career. You'd have to tip your hat to him. So I wish him all the best.
Let's move down the card now to Chief Support, Luke Watkins. Obviously, we know what you think of Luke. He's a world champion in the making in your eyes. Again, rather than being fast-tracked like you want to do with Sam, you're taking your time with Luke, but there's quite a big fight in 2017 for him that was mentioned in the press conference. St Patrick's Day, an Irish title fight. So excited about. You won't look past this fight, of course, but excited about that one as well.
He was supposed to be fighting Martin Granger November 26th in a British title eliminator. That was, the purses were agreed. I agreed a good purse for Martin Granger. That was all done. I spoke to the board. They had got to officially okay it at their meeting, but they said we can't see a problem in that. And then I received a very short, brief text. Martin is retiring. That's it. From his manager. So if he's retiring, good luck to him. You can't. You do get to a stage, and no matter what you're doing, and decide, okay, I've had enough. I've either done enough or I've had enough. He's obviously had enough. Apparently, the job that he has now is getting in the way. It's a shame, but he's ranked in the top 10. Duke's ranked in the top 10. That's who Duke was supposed to be facing in this upcoming fight, a British title eliminator. We got a call last Monday from Chris Saniger wanting Duke to fight Craig Kennedy for the British title before Christmas, December 3rd. Everything was stacked in their favour, and I don't believe we had to rush the opportunity when I believe by next March, April, that we can put ourselves in a mandatory position because of the movement of the men above us. So I want him to be ready not to beat the British champion, but to defend it against the other men underneath him. He's developed excellently. He continues to do so. He's had all the experiences. We faced men now with 2 or 3 things to offer at one time. He's had to drag his ass off the canvas in the last one, and did it in style. He didn't just drag it off and squeak in a decision. He dragged it off, turned the whole thing around, dominated the rest of the rounds, and then knocked him out. He's had all the experiences you would want him to have. Now it's about polishing a couple of bits. We're going to do that in November. Then we're fighting for the Irish title regardless of who it's against in March. The Boxing Union of Ireland have said that has to be Ian Timms. I've tried to make contact with Matthew Macklin on that. I haven't heard back as yet, which is fine. I know he's a busy man, and I don't know what their plans for Ian Timms are. But Ian Timms is number 1, Tommy McCarthy is number 2, and Luke Watkins is number 3. Tommy McCarthy can't take the fight because he's going to be fighting against Matty Askin for a final British eliminator. Ian Timms has expressed on social media he'll take the fight. You definitely can't look past Ian Timms, without a doubt. He's the former Irish champion. It is a hard fight, but I do believe it's a fight that Duke is ready for, or we wouldn't be taking it.
So is that a fight that we're going to see in Swindon, or is there a chance it could be somewhere else? Presumably it'd go to purse bids, would it? Well,
if we can't agree a purse, if we were going to offer a purse, I'm sure they'd offer me pennies and I'd offer them pennies. If it goes to purse bids, I'm going to surprise them with the amount that we're willing to bid, and they won't be able to see that until the envelopes are open, but it'll be the most amount of money that was bid on an Irish title fight. And then if we get beaten with the bid that we're putting in, we'll be paid handsomely to fight somewhere else. If we win the bid, then we're going to put it on here. And I've put in enough of a bid that everyone on the undercard will have to be paid peanuts, because all the money will be spent on the main event. But it'll get a lot of attention because of winning the bid, and it'll get a lot of attention which will make people know it. And it's on. I've already booked this venue here for St Patrick's Day. I've booked the Oasis a month ago for St Patrick's Day, so it'll be happening on March 17th. Now, if they win the purse bid, there's New York. Michael Conlon is making his debut in New York. Paddy Barnes is on the undercard. Now, they're not making their debuts over there and being on the undercard for the American public. They're doing it for the Irish public that live over there, the Irish Americans and the Irish that are over living on the East Coast. their fights aren't going to be title fights, I'm guessing. They're their pro debuts. So why not have title fights on the undercard? Why not have the Irish title on the undercard? They're doing it. It's an Irish show. They're doing it for the Irish public. Luke Watkins, Ian Timms fighting for the Irish title in New York. The first black Irishman fighting for an Irish title. It's not a bad sell.
It's not bad. I can get my flights booked straight away, I think.
Not a bad sell. Either way, I'm happy with where we go.
So it looks like a very exciting 2017 for Luke, and it's an exciting time for one of your younger, they're all young, but one of your younger boxers, Harry Webb. He's been with you 2 years. Now's the time for him to turn pro. He's going to be making his debut, so thoughts on him?
Listen, he's an extremely talented young man. He has got a couple of years before he develops that man strength. Some people develop it early, some late. He will be a late. If you see the men in his family, they're big men. It'll be a couple of years before he gets that strength through. He's not going to be, I like a guy who to turn pro and have 6-7 fights a year. A busy fighter is a developing fighter, which is good. It's going to be the opposite with Harry. He's going to be a slow burner. He's turning pro because he's been committed so much for the last 2.5 years, living up here in Swindon and B&B since he's been 17. And he needs to be rewarded now by having the opportunity to turn pro. But he'll be having 3 fights a year, 5 to 6 fights over a 2-year period. So that then by the time that strength comes in at the age of 22, 23, then he'll be turning pro. He'll be kicking his career off with 6 wins under his belt. But extremely good talent, extremely dedicated. He's shown that for the last 2.5 years, and he deserves the opportunity now to be turning pro now.
We look forward to seeing him in action and seeing what he's got to offer. Another boxer we know a lot about, and a bit of a bombshell dropped at the press conference, was Ryan Martin. He's currently doing a bit of training in your gym. Possibly there could be a tie-up between you guys.
Possibly.
Come on, give me something else. Let's talk about Ryan. If you were to forge a relationship and train together, you
be looking to talk about him as if I'm training him. Let's just leave that.
Let's just talk about Ryan then. Let's talk about Ryan's quality.
He's a class quality operator. You've asked me before what do I think of him, and I told you I think he's a world-class individual. I've said that months and months and months ago when you've asked me about Ryan Martin. Same thing stands now. He's young, 22. He's a world-class individual. His career has been going a little bit slower than what you probably want. And that's probably all I got to say on it right now.
Well, cheers for that, Paddy. You're always a hard one to interview, aren't you? Sometimes you give me everything, sometimes you give me nothing.
I answer the questions as clearly as I'd like to.
Well, Paddy, we're looking forward to seeing all your boxers and Ryan Martin and Calvin Young and all the other guys on the show November 26th. As always, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir. You're smiling.